I can remember an incident we had during warm-up for the 50 freestyle. I'm not sure if you can remember it the way I can remember it, but there was an incident. Do you remember this at all?
The day of the 50?
Yes, the day of the 50. So,
what did you do to me again?
Well, it goes kind of back towards, you know, you needed to feel like you were swimming for somebody or something. And I think if there were times where you felt a little isolated or you didn't have a reason in your own mind, whatever those reasons were, in my mind, we had reasons, but in your mind, you needed specific reasons to attach to, of like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? And I don't think necessarily the world record was something that we had really planned on. You know, I'm sure we had talked about it, but it wasn't like we're going there to break the world record and that, or break a barrier, let's say. We're going there to break 21 seconds. You know, it wasn't necessarily about that. It was about obviously qualifying for the World Championships. Yeah. So during warm-up, I remember you were having some type of mental breakdown. You know, nothing was going right for you. You were feeling terrible. In your mind, you were feeling terrible. When I was watching you visually, what I was seeing, you looked beautiful. I mean, I was seeing perfection. I was seeing things that were finally coming together. You know, when you go throughout a preparation and then you get to the end of the preparation and then you warm up for that last piece, you know, that last race, it's like, there it is finally. I was seeing that. I was like, wow, Fred's ready. But in your mind, it was almost like the opposite. And I'm not sure exactly what it was. Was it pressure because you did feel like you only had one spot, or you didn't have necessarily something to swim for? I'm not sure how you manifested pressure at times, but you were definitely feeling pressure of some sort. Do you remember this?
What I remember is that I was also changing a few things in my warm-up, and I wasn't doing the routine I had I had been used to do. And actually, because this year we had put on a lot of work towards the 100 as well. And the year before we had worked on the 100 butterfly as well. So I had a lot of resistance in me. So I had changed my warm up a little bit and working on my stroke to do a few 50s with a stroke count and increasing my speed, but lowering the strokes as well. And that was not going right at that time. That was not going the way I wanted it to go. Exactly.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. All right.
I was getting frustrated by not being able to put together the stroke I wanted to use for that race.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. You definitely were a perfectionist in that sense. You wanted things to be perfect, you know, it's like, and you definitely held yourself to that standard. But I distinctly remember getting very upset. Like, I couldn't believe, in my mind, you were upset because you weren't feeling good or things weren't going well, you know, as a perfectionist. I was upset because I had left the team. I just, you know, and so it was like
you got mad. I got mad. You were not upset. You got mad at me.
I got mad. Yeah, I got mad. I really did. I think I honestly told you to shut the fuck up. Honestly, I think that's what I said. So I got mad and I walked away from warm up. I was like, you know what? You're on your own. You got to do it yourself. You know, like if you don't have it, then you don't have it. You know, that's up to you. But I thought you had it. You know, in my mind you have it, but in your mind you didn't have it. So it was like, all right, we're not going to meet here. You go and figure it out then. So I got really pissed off, and to the point where I wanted to leave, you know, almost. It was like, damn it, I want to leave. So I remember, you know, you walking down for the 50 free, and it was a tight pool deck. So all the crowd moved up front, and I remember standing behind because I didn't want to see the race. It was like, you know what? If he doesn't have it, then forget it then. If mentally, physically he has it, but if he doesn't want to show up mentally, then it's on him. So I remember kind of like standing back, and people were like, come up here, Brett. I'm like, no, I don't want to watch this race, you know, forget it. And then, you know, then the gun went off, and I remember kind of standing up on my tiptoes to kind of just see what was the start like, you know. And I remember when I looked up, I saw you hit the first cycle. And I was like, oh, Fred is on. Did you know at that point that?
I had a good breakout after the underwater. I had a good breakout, and then I do remember that race. I mean, I had Alain Bernard next to me and Amaury Lebeau as well. Those guys had medals in the Olympics the year before. And then I remember hitting my start pretty good. I had a clean breakout.
Mm.
And then I knew that my strength in the 50 was the second 25. And then when I saw that 25-meter lane, I just wanted to just accelerate to the wall. And it happened. And I was able to detach myself from the other swimmers, and it felt amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
it looked amazing.